Okay. Hey, welcome to the Nighty Podcast. I'm your host, Jay. This is your other host, Joe. We came together. We're going to talk about some stuff.
That's not the best marketing you've ever heard.
Yeah, stick around.
I don't know.
Stick around for stuff.
Hey, get excited for some stuff. First, my alarm's going to go off on my phone.
Of course.
So, I'm starting off.
She's starting
with a word of the day.
Hey, word of the day.
Because it is a good word. It is an underused word, but it's a word you could easily incorporate into your everyday life if you are depressed.
So everybody then.
And basically. Do you think depression is, what do you think depression is?
It's a bummer. Yeah, all day.
Other than a bummer. Where do you think it comes from? Do you think it's always existed? Or do you think it's more of a symptom of our current day lifestyle and society?
Well, I think we got, it's a mix. I think some of it's like, you're like your brain chemistry, but then also there's a lot of, you don't have to forage and you don't have time.
I feel very much like there's a contribution of time.
Yeah.
If we didn't have so much time to think about how much time we have,
right,
or don't have, then probably, like if you, and that's not saying you can't be clinically or biologically depressed. I think you can. I just think in a different time, you wouldn't have the luxury.
Yeah.
Which sounds also offensive to call depression a luxury, but it is. If you were out there fighting for your life, trying to find food, trying to survive, trying to find shelter, fighting other humans.
Yeah. You didn't have time to be vulnerable.
Right. Depression is a vulnerability, which I guess is why people kind of look down their nose at it. Because in general, we don't like to talk about vulnerabilities. Mm-hmm. But we all have a lot of them. And you
just got to swallow that and put it in the middle of your chest.
Right. And make cancer. That's what Jay's doing. But the word that I like to use for people or a time when I feel depressed. I don't actually like the word depression, so maybe that's why I wanted to point out this word is despondent.
Despondent.
Despondent. I'm going to give you the
Google
exact definition. In low spirits from loss of hope or courage. In low spirits for loss of hope or courage. That's kind of interesting, the courage part.
Yeah. I think of the Cowardly Lion when I hear courage.
Yeah.
Yeah. That guy didn't really seem, well, he was kind of down.
Nobody feels good about the fact that they're being a coward.
Yeah.
Cowardice doesn't feel good.
Yeah. He was kind of bummed out about it.
He was despondent.
Yeah. The Cowardly Lion.
It's just a noun, so you can, I'm sorry. It's not a noun. It's an adjective. It would be describing word, describing the Cowardly Lion as despondent. Up until this week, I felt very despondent. I sort of sometimes get overwhelmed with how much everyone else is not overwhelmed. Does that make any sense?
I hear you, because like you're not one to sit around in a messy room and then like you're looking at other people sitting around in this filth.
Right, that's how I feel about life, though, also. Yeah. That's how I feel people in a literal messy room.
Yeah.
But that's also how I feel I feel like life is a big messy room and everybody else is like, I just don't see it. I just don't pay attention to the mess.
Yeah.
And then I can relax. And I'm like, there's so much mess everywhere. And it makes me very despondent.
I hear that.
Yeah. Even if things are happy, even if things are good, like the greater world around us, the lifespan that I'm just plowing through at what feels like a very increasing and accelerating rate. Your teenage years go very slow.
Yeah.
Because all you want to do is be an adult.
Yeah.
And now all anybody tells you is you can't be. So you're just for every little rung up you can get up the ladder to adulthood, and then when in your 20s you get there, right? You use your adulthood, right? You start applying it, and it feels pretty good, especially if you're good at it. I was pretty good at it. You do that for 10 years, and then you do a lot in that 10 years. A lot happens in your 20s as far as like life, right? A lot of people get married. You find your career.
You're like launching.
Yeah. But then you hit your 30s.
Mm-hmm.
And not only did they go by way too quickly, and then you're just getting closer and closer to 40, which everybody has a bad vibe about. I think across the board.
This guy.
Everybody would
Best life.
That's not true. That's not true at all. So it's very much like a leaving behind of a thing and then a going towards a thing that doesn't necessarily feel better.
Yeah.
You're just sort of in the middle of those two. It's like a middle stage.
You've made some options. You know what I mean?
Well, you picked a lane.
Yeah.
And should you stay in it, I think is where you wind up in your 30s.
Right.
I picked the family house, dog, fence lane. But then I'm like, oh shit, like I can't just jump over to this other one. I can't suddenly be a bohemian world traveler because I picked this lane. So you're almost sort of stuck with it.
Right.
And you stop seeing all the good things or all the reasons why you pick that lane to begin with.
Yeah, it's a grass or greener.
Oh, so bad.
Situation.
All the grass looks greener everywhere else, and your grass looks like it's yellow and dying. Because you're dying.
A lot like our yard.
Oh, we're so bad at yards.
We're indoor cats, really.
Oh, we watched this really interesting movie. Movie. It was called Duel.
Yeah.
On Hulu.
Drink that, or have some wine with that one.
Yeah, had to get the wine out for that one.
It's a dark comedy.
I did not find it to be a comedy almost at all.
I don't know.
I think they threw the occasional kind of chuckle in, so you didn't stop watching it because it was so disturbing. Why don't you give without spoiling it, give a brief synopsis of what this movie is about?
So, this lady, she's in a kind of like a melancholy life. She's not super happy. But then
is she in her 30s?
She's picked some lanes. She gets a diagnosis because she's getting sick, and that she's got a 98% chance of dying. And it's like there's a new option where you can clone yourself, so the ones that you leave behind are not sad. And they kind of, this person hangs with you. It's very rapid. This person is, your clone is just with you. And
they can make it in like an hour.
Yeah, like go to lunch
and come back. And now there's second one of you.
Yeah. And so like this person's supposed to kind of hang with you and kind of get a vibe for you, so that they can replace you, because you are,
they are created to replace you.
Yeah. And then you're doing this for the other people. It's not like a big benefit for you. It's so the other people are not sad that you're not around.
Right.
And
that was pretty well. That's the setup. If you say any more, you're going to give the movie away. The movie was pretty good. It's worth the time. It's worth the amount it makes you think.
All right. You get your thinking's worth.
And so my first question would be, if I had a terminal illness, COVID came back, would you want me to clone myself?
Man, I only saw this movie for my own, but to think about
from you being the one that clones yourself. Yeah.
So
I for sure want you to clone yourself.
You would want.
I don't like anybody else.
And
I'm not even saying that this clone would really be a full version of you.
Yeah.
Because I think very much more than just your genetics, It's like your life experiences
Mm.
that also contribute to who you are.
Yeah.
But it would be close enough.
Good enough.
I would we'd for sure still be friends,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So,
I think it would be really, like the concept
But I
of
was-
that would be really,
like, I would still miss you.
yeah.
I don't think you could just replace you with a direct copy of you, and I would never feel like you hadn't died.
Right.
Had died. You would still feel very dead to me.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if I'd want that.
You'd want for me, you'd want to.
Yeah, I
Jay's
wouldn't
like,
want to.
Once you're dead, that's enough.
Yeah.
I've done this for 20 years.
Yeah.
We're good.
I've served my time.
How dare you? That's so interesting that I said without a second thought, I would
Yeah.
absolutely take a clone of you.
Right.
And without a second thought, you were like, no.
No, I think we've done enough.
I want to move on to something else.
Yeah.
Oh, no wonder I'm so despondent.
I'm doing it. I'm doing it to you.
If I do die, I want to die on like a significant day.
Like
You know.
Flag Day.
There's so
No?
Flag Day. Why is that even a day?
Get
No, like
the day off at the bank.
I don't know. Like I just when you walk through a cemetery, like the only ones you notice are like, oh, that's Christmas. Oh, this person died on the 4th of July.
It's true.
The only like random one you might notice is like, oh, they died on the same day they were born, right?
Yeah, I
That's the
look for
only
that
one
too.
that's
Yeah.
left.
So some easy math.
So, but it's the only way anyone's gonna pay attention to you.
Yeah.
100 years after you're dead.
Right.
I would say within 100 years, and that's really being generous.
Yeah.
Nobody knows who you are anymore.
Huh.
And if
Yeah. Oh yeah.
you have a grave marker that is a significant day, at least like someone.
I don't know. That's not a good reason to take up space.
That's true.
So some rando could be like, Valentine's Day.
Yeah,
That's sad.
that is sad. That's 100% what we did, though. We
Yeah.
went through and we looked and said, that's sad about like certain dates that people died.
Right.
But otherwise, we didn't notice them at all.
Yeah.
And they just remained forgotten.
Well, they're going to be forgotten either way.
I know. But how okay with that are you, you know?
Well,
Oh,
it's happening.
I gotta show you this thing. Oh, fuck. I've kept this.
Is this stool too close to the couch?
Is that why it's shaking?
Yeah. You're like tremor.
Is that better?
Probably.
You didn't even look.
If you
Now I
moved
just-
it, it's
now I
probably
just
better.
kicked the camera.
Yeah, whatever.
All right, hold on 1 second.
Like, share,
I
subscribe.
wanna-
So we can get better equipment.
Okay. So I don't even remember how I came across
The
this.
audio portion, Joe's looking on her phone to show me something.
But that's the picture. I'll flash it. It's a picture I'm showing Jay right now. So there's this grave in France where they did let me see the year
Okay.
that he died.
That chick is horny.
It is a replica of the guy that died
Yeah.
in the position that he died on top of the grave. Like they did a sculpture. So it's like a tomb. It's in Paris. Did I say that already? It's in Paris. And it's like, so he like kind of fell out on the street.
So is that meant
His
to...
name is Victor Noir, which almost sounds made up. Noir, Victor Noir, if you want to look it up. And there was a rumor that if you like laid with him,
Yeah.
this grave,
Mhm.
that you would either get pregnant. I think it was an infertility thing. This was like 1800. This feels very 1800s. I don't know what year it was that he
Like that?
died.
His whole body is like cast out.
Yeah,
Like,
it's so accurate that it's like it almost looks like they just cast his body.
yeah, his
It's
clothes
just like
and
a
all that.
really well done.
But then like his
1800s. That's when he died.
the outline
Late
of his
1800s.
Johnson is like, is that from like weather
It's
or
so
just chicks like grinding on this
it's
guy?
from people grinding on the statue.
What?
His junk
Yeah.
and his mount. Look,
Oh shit.
isn't that fucking crazy?
Yeah.
That's how insane we
This guy
are.
definitely saw more action.
Way more action after he died.
Yeah.
So that's from like noses rubbing against his nose, kissing him,
Probably more
and then
than
his
nose
crotch is
kissing.
completely rubbed
Yeah.
raw.
He's giving mustache rides.
Victor Noir in France.
Dude.
You can go do this right now.
Yeah.
Are you listening in France? Go to the cemetery.
Yeah.
Remember Victor Noir.
Scripture
He didn't
Morrison.
die on an interesting day. But whose decision was that?
Is it
Put that-
where is he?
It,
Is that at a is it in
it's
a
it's like a public cemetery.
Okay.
In 2004, a fence was placed around the statue with the
That's not-
warning sign that said any damage caused by graffiti or indecent rubbing
Oh
will
my
be
God.
prosecuted. Because at this point,
That's not stopping these horny chicks.
they're not horny. They're trying to get pregnant. People do anything to get pregnant.
That sounds horny.
You want to talk about a grass is greener? Fuck, dude.
Kids?
The people that like can't have kids
Yeah.
are so sad, and I feel so bad because I just wish I could take my experience and put it in their body. I'm not saying I regret having kids, but there's
Right.
definitely a life that you could lead without kids that can still be fulfilling, and you haven't lost out on anything. But there's no way
Yeah.
to communicate that.
Well, I mean,
There's no way to properly to have someone they're always going to feel like they missed out.
if you
and that
want
bums me out
kids,
so
you can
bad.
get kids though.
It's
if you're a
not the
decent
same.
person.
Especially for women, we want to be pregnant. We want that whole thing.
Yeah, but
We want the dumb pull the cord and make the color pop out. So fucking stupid.
Oh my
Gender
God.
reveal.
Yeah, that's all.
We want people
For
to fawn over
the-
us.
You're not doing it for the right reasons. If like,
No, nobody is. Everybody's self-centered.
okay,
Everybody is self-centered. Everybody wants their moment in the sun.
yeah.
Like when I see pregnant girls at work, I'm just like,
There's so many unwanted kids
They're
though.
not
Like if you
special.
want to have a child and do the whole raising of,
yeah,
Then-
but I don't.
but you think people just want the legacy of themselves?
they want themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're conceited as fuck. Inherently, at our core, we are very self-centered animals.
So that's what it's all about.
Barely anybody has kids to help the kid.
It's more
Almost, in fact, I would say
experience and
almost
the
nobody.
legacy and kind of leaving something behind.
My idea, when I decided to have kids, well, maybe not the first one. The first one, I feel like I just did it because that's what everybody else does.
It was trending.
It was trending. I really liked you, and I wanted to have your kid. It was very like a caveman, kind of Neanderthal, old brain,
Yeah,
lizard brain,
it's the
reptile brain.
you need to
Procreate.
procreate.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I almost got there.
This is who I picked.
Precreate.
This is who I picked.
That's not a word.
He's pre-create.
Sometimes I precreate in the shower.
Yeah. I think it has
That almost slid right by.
I think it has to do with that whole teenage growing up thing. That for me. Like I was like, you wanna see how much of not a kid I am? I'm gonna have a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll make.
But then after the
Another
first when we decided to keep going, that had more to do with
You just did a
there's
weird thing with your hair.
Did I?
Yeah, you kind of on top with the stupid headphones.
There's so many dummies. There's so many dummies, and dummies are just having kids too.
Yeah.
So I felt like we had a duty to put more
Duty.
great thinkers into the world. At least 50% of them.
That's half bad.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, it really became like there's a lot of dumb people, and the dumb people are having a lot of kids.
You're trying to balance the scales.
Yeah, like for society's sake.
Mm-hmm.
I needed to have kids, and I needed to raise them so that I could make them at least think for themselves.
Yeah.
And make them despondent and depressed about how pointless life is.
Yeah, you really brought them into the shit show.
But isn't that crazy though?
Yeah.
People are humping a statue
Oh yeah.
to have babies that after they have them they don't want. I always feel bad for also like infertility people that do eventually get pregnant and then they have that moment that I think everybody has once you have the baby, right? You have the baby.
Here. It ain't going away.
It's with you permanently. You never understood that concept before it was there.
Yeah.
You know, like growing up, you get a dog, but the dog would die eventually.
Or like
and that wasn't your responsibility.
Your sibling has a baby and you're like holding it. It's like, oh, this is awesome. And then it's like, wait a minute, it's shit. Take it back. Yeah. And then it's like,
and then it never goes away.
When it's yours, it's like,
it's yours.
Oh, wait, it's shit and vomited and is crying.
Yeah. And you got to figure it out. And you're so tired. And you're just like, you can't even cry anymore because there's no more extra. You haven't had the chance to eat to produce tears.
Yeah.
Because that's how much you've been neglecting yourself. And then I feel bad for those infertility people going like, I did this. Like, it's got to make it so much worse.
Right.
It's got to make it so much worse. I stuck needles into my hips.
Yeah.
I, years of pain and anguish and almost getting divorced because of the pressure of trying to make this happen.
Yeah, you do it to yourself.
Now I've done, like we did it to ourselves, but we had an easy process to get there and still had that moment holding that screaming thing, not weeping for our life because we don't have any tears that we used to have. And I can't imagine what it's like when you had to actually work to make that happen. Like, I don't think you appreciate it more. I don't. And I think you still have the same moment the rest of us have of regret and worry that you made the right decision. Only on top of that, you're like, you do have this like shame of how hard you worked for it, and immediately you're sick
you
of
can't
it.
even feel bad for yourself.
No,
at all.
Not at all, because it's all you ever wanted. It was going to change your whole life.
Yeah,
which it does change your whole life, but not in the way you think it's going to.
It's like you can't even have a bad day.
No. Oh yeah, you have to be
like,
or like adopting, same thing.
Yeah,
I feel bad for those kids because they probably like so much shitty things those kids do, and then the adopted parents get to be like, well, it's probably his parents' genetics. Like, no, bitch. If it was your genetics or not, that kid's going to be an asshole.
Oh, right.
There's like only so much that goes into genetics.
Shit, like, our kids will do something, and I'll be like, the fucking Joe made this kid all weird.
But imagine just being able to shuck that onto a stranger.
A stranger, yeah. You'd be doing it constantly.
All the time. Every bad quality that kid had. It's probably because of whoever his mother was. Like, no, it's you. It's what you're doing.
You're raising this thing. This thing.
Oh. Does that sound... Is this the episode you don't want my like the kids to see? Probably all of them, but this one in particular.
Nah.
We don't regret the kids. We love the kids. The kids fulfill our lives.
I
just think there's not enough honest discussion about parenting.
Yeah.
About making that choice. And I think nobody's talking about the fact you don't have to make that choice. And that sounds weird coming from someone who did.
I mean, it's like engraved to like...
it's a sign of success.
Well...
I think it is.
Well, people take you more serious, I guess.
Yeah.
But...
You're more of a grown-up.
It is very, like, caveman-y to procreate.
He's going to get it eventually.
I'll get there. I
I
always do.
I wish that the option... I feel like it's probably more an option now than it was when you and I were kind of coming up.
Mm-hmm.
But I wish it was more of an option of like, you don't have to have kids. You can still be successful if you don't get married.
Yeah.
You can still be happy if you don't have a job. I'm so tired of people. We're going to go to this fucking,
we're going.
Work party. Is there anything worse than a work party? It's so good in theory.
You think about the free alcohol.
It's not even that.
Oh,
I'm fucking 35. I don't think about free alcohol anymore. I can actually just go buy any alcohol that I want.
Not on Sundays.
Not
or
on
noon.
Sundays. But The point is, we're going to this work party of mine. I don't really want to go to it.
Tell us what
There's
you really
not
think.
anything wrong with the people. It's just like
It's the people.
it's not the people. The people are nice enough.
Mm-hmm.
But I know very much that if I quit this job, I don't talk to those people.
Yeah.
Within 6 months, I don't. Maybe like social media makes you linger longer than you ordinarily would have.
Really, it does.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it really does. But you're work friends, and that's great. It's so cool to be able to have work friends, but that's what they are. Like but within a few months of leaving that job, they're not your friends anymore. And like when you're young and you're first realizing that, it's very painful.
Mm-hmm.
It's very painful when like that place moves on without you.
It's like
And you thought you had all these
it's high school.
special relationships.
It's high school.
But it's every job. All at this, really, all you can do is hope you have a good work friend to
Yeah.
get you through that thing you don't really want to do, but you have to do.
Right. But I mean, there is something to it. Like if you work somewhere for 20 years and you see these same, people, they are part of your fucking story.
I don't think
they're part of your movie.
They're only part of your movie because they had to be there.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's forced to be there, but you are there together. You are living your life, your work life.
I don't know.
Around these
I'm
souls.
just trying to find a way to not have a work life.
Yeah.
For this to be our work life.
Yeah. Like, share, subscribe.
You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely.
Like the fact that that's like the first thing people ask you when you meet a new person. Like you're making small talk. Hate it.
What do you do?
Hate it.
For work?
What do you do for work?
Yes.
Ugh. Why does it matter?
Just start making up shit.
I jerk off donkeys for a living. I artificially inseminate donkeys. And a little known fact about that position is that you have to jerk the donkey off in order to artificially inseminate the other one.
That's interesting.
Yeah. I'm just going to do that.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go for a weird... Because you don't care. It's just something to say. And I am so tired of words that are just something to say. That's why I don't want to go to this work party.
It's elevator
It's
music.
nothing but that over and over again.
Well, maybe we
Until
just
you
get
get
smashed.
too drunk and then somebody says something real and then everybody feels weird about it. And then you got to go back to work the next week.
That's why I'm going. I'm seeking those out. I'm going to
What was that thing we heard earlier today? Or it was last night. It was kind of this topic they were talking about.
Seinfeld.
It was on Seinfeld.
Yeah.
There's an episode of Seinfeld when he was getting a massage and the lady's trying to make small talk. The massage person.
He takes it to medium talk.
He takes it to medium talk. That's all.
Yeah.
He went from small to medium and this lady buckles.
Yeah.
And that's what happens 9 times out of 10. He asks her, what do you think the worst part of being blind is? Oh, dude, do you know how cool that would be if I'm checking out at the grocery store and I'm standing there while the lady scans all this stuff that looks like your mom and kind of sounds like her, but she's like a little too rough and tough, but I still like her and I pick her line on purpose. And she looks up at me and instead of saying, "You coming from work? What do you do?" Instead of saying that, she says, "What do you think the worst part about being blind is?" Dude.
Yeah. You're like,
let's talk about it.
Jerry was like, not knowing if there's bugs in my food.
Not knowing if there's bugs in my food would be the worst part. That show is so well done.
Dude, I'm going to this party tonight. I'm going to pour some kerosene on some conversations.
You're going to come preloaded with some...
I'm shooting from
some
the
medium
hip.
talk?
Yeah.
Medium talk only.
I'm going right into medium.
That's what the world needs. Small talk's useless. And it's just a comfortable thing.
Yeah.
And fuck being comfortable.
I know. Stop wasting the oxygen.
There's a finite amount of time you have and you're wasting it talking about the weather or what job someone has and what's that like. How's truck driving? Who fucking cares how truck driving is? You don't. That's what I want to say. I just want to say, you don't care.
Just elevate your small talk to medium talk in your everyday.
Oh, but I do care. No, that's like offensive. I don't know why it's offensive to reject small talk.
Just keep taking it up a level,
People just leave. They do.
That'll be interesting too. I'm ready. I'm ready for it.
We're ready for medium talk.
Yeah.
Here at the Nighty Podcast.
Yeah. If you get some medium talk, hit us up in the comment section.
Hey, speaking of booze, do all countries have all boozes? Booze? Is it just booze?
Boozies.
Boozies.
I feel
like when we go to a bar,
yeah,
they got everything, right?
Americans a melting pot.
But we have everybody.
Yeah.
So is that how bars worked?
I feel like Germany only has like beer. You know what I mean? And then like London
Mexico only has tequila.
Yeah, and beer. They'd have their own beers too.
Like England has gin.
Gin. And then like
Italy only strictly wine.
Yeah.
Is that what it's like?
I don't know.
Like, can you go to a bar in Italy and order tequila?
Yeah.
Probably at this point.
Probably.
But I bet that's like an American thing.
Did we just have like
that
a
kind
whole...
of proliferated the rest of the world.
Like every bottle behind the bar.
We just had all the different kinds of people. So we needed all the different boozes. Boozies.
Boozies.
You know what I mean?
This party better have some boozies.
All the different boozies?
Yeah. I might sample. Like the Long Island iced tea, definitely an American thing because it's like all the different liquors, right?
It's called Long Island.
Yeah.
Iced tea.
So that's New York. And
correct.
That's still in America.
Yeah. I'm making fun of the fact that you're even questioning what country of origin
I didn't
Long
question
Island
it.
iced tea
I was
from.
planting a flag for America.
Too many flags in this episode. This is a flag episode.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
We did it again.
People are going to click it. Those people that love flags. The people that know when Flag Day is.
Like, what? When do they get to the flags?
When are we talking about the flags?
Yeah.
We only mean the flags on booze bottles.
Right.
And are they everywhere? They probably are.
The origin of boozies.
But like when you watch like an old Western, they have like a kind of a barrel of something, and that's what everybody drinks. Like at what point did it become all the different kinds?
The Netherlands has mead.
Now you're just being racist. No one's ever been racist to the Netherlands before.
Yeah, I'm coming after them. Watch your back, Swedes.
That's not the Netherlands.
You sure?
I don't know. Bad at geography.
Bad at geography, yeah.
I didn't even bring a cup. I don't even have a cup this episode to cheers you.
I got an extra one.
Oh, well.
Here, this one's got no boozies.
No boozies. Extra boozies. I don't know, man. I guess we'll just keep trucking along.
Raise your fucking small talk to medium talk and go hump this guy in Paris if you want to get pregnant because you're a narcissist.
Hey!